Shall we start?
Yeah, start చేద్దాం శేఖర్ చెప్పేసి స్టార్ట్ చేసాం.
Yeah.
స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి సార్.
నేను చెప్తాను, ఇంట్రడక్షన్ చెప్పిన తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. Good morning, everybody. Today's topic is a very interesting topic, and most of us want to practice it, but nobody is practicing it, I suppose, because of the logistical issues with the equipment and everything. So today's topic is low flow anesthesia. My favorite topic, one of my favorite topics. This topic was selected by the presenter himself. That's a very good sign, because these people are looking into the low flow anesthesia, because in spite of the availability of low flow anesthesia with our machines is low, but he took some interest, and he is presenting this class on low flow anesthesia. I appreciate Ravi. I hope the class will be good, and let's start.
Good morning, sir. Can I start, sir?
Full screen avada?
Full screen, sir. Full screen, sir.
మాకు ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ కనపడలేదు, అందుకని అడిగాను.
స్క్రీన్ రాలేదు, ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ రాలా.
ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ రాలేదు
సార్. ఇది ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ లోనే ఉంది సార్. ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్
కింద ఏమన్నా ఉంటుంది
నార్మల్ స్క్రీన్
ఇదే సార్ ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్. సార్ ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ ఇదే సార్.
మీరు స్లైడ్ మార్చండి.
అవ్వలేదు. ఆయిల్ చేస్తారు మీరు. హలో సార్, కెన్ యూ హియర్ మీ?
Yes, we can hear you.
స్క్రీన్ సగం వచ్చింది సార్.
ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ షేరింగ్ ఉంది సార్. సార్ ఇది ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ షేరింగ్ లో ఉంది సార్.
ఎవరు చేస్తారు సార్? మోసాలు చేస్తారా? ఈ మధ్యలో స్క్రీన్ కట్టారు.
ఎడ్విన్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళు చేస్తారు
తప్ప
ఇంత పని చేస్తారు.
అది పోతుంది, దాంతో నేనేం చేయలేదు.
స్టార్ట్ చేయండి, లేట్ అవుతుంది.
సార్ సార్ ఎనీ టెక్నిక్ దట్ ఎంప్లాయ్స్ a free fresh gas flow that is less than alveolar ventilation can be classified as a low flow anesthesia. Complex
ముందు షేర్ చేయండి, పీపీటీ రావట్లేదు.
పీపీటీ రావట్లా.
జస్ట్ మినిట్స్.
Get disconnected and reconnect again, Ravi sir.
Okay.
ఇదేనా? వస్తుందా మ్యామ్? హలో హలో
Yeah,
Hello?
PPT is visible. PPT is visible.
Okay.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm starting the class. Low flow anesthesia is any technique, any technique that implies a fresh gas flow that is less than alveolar ventilation. It can be classified as low flow anesthesia. Complexities involved in the calculation of uptake of anesthetic agents during closed circuit anesthesia made this technique less popular. Awareness of the dangers of theater pollution with trace elements of anesthetic agents and high cost of new inhalation agents.
Ravi,
Ravi
sorry
sir,
to
I'm
interrupt,
sorry, but
but
the PPT is not moving.
PPT is not moving and PPT is fixed
Sir,
at the first slide only.
Sir, first slide అయినా సార్ ఇంకా
అలాకా సార్
అంటే మీ పేరు కనబడుతుంది
ఓకే
అంతే.
ఇంట్రడక్షన్ స్లైడ్ కనిపించట్లేదు. యువర్ ఐ మీన్ మీ పేరు అవి ఉంటాయి కదా, ఆ స్లైడ్, దట్ స్లైడ్ ఇస్ ఓన్లీ విజిబుల్.
ఇప్పుడు మేడం
ఇప్పుడు కూడా అదే ఉంది సార్.
ఇప్పుడు చేంజ్ అవ్వట్లేదు.
అవ్వట్లేదు సార్. యా ఓకే,
అప్డేట్ చేయలేదు.
ఇప్పుడు చేంజ్ అవుతుంది అనుకుంటా సార్. కంటిన్యూ చేయండి.
Awareness of the dangers of theater pollution with trace elements of anesthetic agents and high cost of new inhalation agents led to rediscovery of low flow anesthesia. Ever since the evolution of anesthesia technique from the era of ether using open drop method through the semi-closed and closed breathing systems, the concept of reusing the anesthetic agents in the exhaled gas gained significant attention. Development of modern anesthetic machines, gas analyzer monitors, precision vaporizers, and introduction of more potent volatile agents with minimal uptake were some of the breakthroughs encountering low flow anesthesia.
Patients just come.
The amount of environmental pollution to anesthetic gases during present day practice virtually mandates to use available facilities to implement low flow anesthesia. Historical landmarks. Snow concluded that if exhaled anesthetic gases such as chloroform and ether can be re-inspired, their narcotic effect will be prolonged. Waters introduced to and fro absorption system as a solution to avoid carbon dioxide rebreathing. Brian Sword described circular breathing system with soda lime absorber for closed circuit anesthesia. Virtue reduced gas flows further in his minimal flow anesthesia technique. Aldrich et al. Revived the idea of low flow anesthesia. Lowe and Ernst revived closed system anesthesia. Logan and Farmer described environmental hazards due to modern anesthesia agents, which are partially substituted halogenated hydrocarbons and nitrous oxide, which contribute to depletion of stratospheric ozone layer and greenhouse effect. In all physical characteristics, as all physical characteristics of each agent, then exhaled gas mixtures with fresh gas have a different composition due to uptake of agents and addition of carbon dioxide. The idea of Subhash,
ఒకసారి క్యాన్సిల్ కొట్టు.
cancel. The idea of low flow anesthesia is to replenish the consumed gases with the minimum fresh gas possible while making making sure to remove carbon dioxide before recirculating, minimize the loss of anesthetic agents into environment.
శేఖర్ నీకు పీపీటీ కనపడుతుందా?
నో సార్ నో సార్
శేఖర్ పీపీటీ వస్తుందా?
లేదు సార్, రావట్లేదు. పీపీటీ రావట్లేదు, ఇప్పుడు ఆగిపోయింది.
क्या बोल रहा है बशीर?
स्लाइड्स नहीं दिख रहा सर.
मगर क्या कर रहा है? मगर आप तो कुछ करने गए ना, इसके लिए आप है ना?
सर नॉर्मल स्क्रीन शेयर करने के लिए नॉर्मली आप नंबर भी पूछा मगर नंबर कोई नहीं दिए.
ఓకే
సార్ ఇక్కడ సుభాష్ ఉన్నారు సార్.
ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది.
అది ఫుల్ స్క్రీన్ రాలేదు. సరే పర్లేదు, స్టార్ట్ చేయండి, ఏం చేస్తాం.
Sir, otherwise share the PPT to someone else kada.
Bashir asking for that only. Bashir has given the number to send the slides. He is there for the job.
Okay. Ravi sir, give someone's number. Evero kardi. Just share the PPT and we'll do the slideshow.
బషీర్ నెంబర్ బషీర్
చాట్
సార్ మీ
బాక్స్
నెంబర్
లో నెంబర్ పెట్టాడు చూడు రవి, చాట్ బాక్స్ లో బషీర్ నెంబర్ పెట్టాడు.
దీంట్లో గ్రూప్ లో షేర్ చేసిన సార్ పీపీటీ. ఏది నెంబర్? చాట్ బాక్స్
చాట్ బాక్స్
రవి నువ్వు మెల్లిగా చెప్తూ ఉండు.
సెండ్ చేసిన చూడండి సార్.
In concept of low flow anesthesia, during low flow anesthesia, initially fresh gas mixture with a given composition of anesthetic gases is administered, followed by uptake of agents into the body occurs as physical gastrics of the yeast agent. Then exhale gas mixture mixes with fresh gas have a different composition due to uptake of agents and addition of carbon dioxide. The idea of low flow anesthesia is to replenish the consumed gases with a minimum fresh gas possible while making sure to remove carbon dioxide before recirculating, minimize the loss of anesthetic agents into environment. The challenge is to control dynamic equilibrium of fresh gas composition. Composition as the uptake and metabolism are time sensitive. Many factors control this composition. Consumption and production of gaseous components occur at different rates. This dynamic equilibrium can be achieved through frequent adjustments in gas flow controls. Monitoring the inspired and end-tidal concentrations using gas analyzer is more accurate and convenient method for safe conduct of low flow anesthesia.
ఆల్రెడీ షేర్ చేసి
Sir, Bashir sir.
హలో
హలో
బషీర్ సార్, ఇది మీకు వాట్సాప్ షేర్ చేసి
రిసీవ్ అయింది షేర్ చేస్తాను.
This is the-
And Marine James.
రవి సార్ కంటిన్యూ చేయండి సార్.
Okay. Slide next. Definition of low flow anesthesia. There is no universally accepted definition for low flow anesthesia. Any inhalation technique that implies pressurized flow less than alveolar ventilation is one definition. Another definition is it is defined to be an inhalation anesthetic technique in which rebreathing fraction at least amounts to 50%, where at least 50% of the exhaled gas mixture is returned to patient after carbon dioxide removal in next inspiration. Using modern anesthesia machines, this can be achieved when fresh gas flow is reduced to at least 2 liters per minute or less. Baker has classified fresh gas flow used in anesthesia practice into medium, low, minimal, and metabolic flow. In medium flow, the flow is 1 to 2 liters per minute. Fresh gas volume is sufficient for basic requirements to compensate problems. Flow is 500 to 1000 ml per minute. If inspiratory oxygen concentration falls below 30%, oxygen flow must be increased by 10% of total gas flow, that is about 100 ml per minute. In minimal flow, fresh gas flow is equivalent to 250 to 500 ml per minute. If inspiratory oxygen concentration falls below 30%, oxygen flow must be increased by about 50 ml per minute. In metabolic flow, flow is about 250 ml per minute. Oxygen should be used as a sole carrier gas, since 250 ml per minute is the absolute minimal oxygen requirement for metabolic process at rest in a normothermic patient. One should precisely detect when metabolic demands exceed oxygen supply. Advantages of low flow anesthesia are physiological advantages are it preserves heat and humidity of inspired gas, thereby conserves body temperature and reduces water loss. It improves the flow dynamics of inhaled anesthetic gases. It increases mucociliary clearance. It improves airway epithelial health. It reduces accumulation of dried airway secretions. Economical advantages are it reduces anesthetic gas consumption, causes significant savings of the order of 60 to 75% with regard to volatile anesthetics agents. Ecological advantages are it reduces overflow of fluorocarbons and nitrous oxide, which damage the Earth's ozone layer. It reduces greenhouse effect due to nitrous oxide and volatile agents. Environmental advantages are it reduces operating room pollution. Requirements for the use of low flow anesthesia. Flow meters calibrated to flows down to 50 ml per minute. A leak-proof circle breathing system and airway devices like cuffed AT tube, well-fitted supraglottic airway diseases. Breathing system should have minimal internal volume to minimize the reserve volume. Gas monitoring system providing inspired and end-tidal concentrations of agents. Vaporizers capable of delivering high concentrations and calibrated to be accurate at low fresh gas flow. Unfavorable settings for low flow anesthesia. Anesthesiologist who is not familiar with low flow anesthesia, short-term anesthesia with a face mask, procedure with imperfectly gas-tight airways, example bronchoscopies with a rigid bronchoscope, use of technically unsatisfactory equipment with high gas leakage, inadequate monitoring, that is malfunction of gas analyzer or lack of machine or equipment suitable for leak-free closed breathing systems. Low flow anesthesia combined with a significant overpressure of potent volatile agents should not be applied in situations when other clinical issues like hemodynamic instability require the attention of anesthesia provider. Concerns while using low flow anesthesia are dilution of anesthetic agents, differential uptake of agents, modifying the composition of gas mixture, ensuring enough oxygen metabolism, delaying in recovery from anesthesia. In dilution of anesthetic agents, low fresh gas flows are added to significantly large reserve volume of 9 to 10 liters. consisting of breath tubing, reservoir bag, anesthetic ventilator, intergranular space, efforts of the patient. Hence, rate of change of gas composition is exponential, which is related to the time constant. It requires 3 time constants calculated by reservoir volume by fresh gas flow to affect a 95% change in gas composition to occur. But once steady state is achieved, a low flow anesthesia provides the most economic use of anesthetic agents. It is going on. పోయింది మళ్ళీ
ఆయన సేవ్ చేశారు
ఆ?
ఆయన సేవ్ చేశారు ఎక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అయింది సార్ నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్
You tell which slide, Ravi.
Sir.
Fast one వాళ్ళు చెప్పు వాళ్ళకి.
Concerns while using low flow anesthesia.
No, tell him which slide he has to.
అదే సార్ అదే వచ్చింది సార్. Differential uptake of agents modifying the composition of gas mixture. This effect is particularly important while combining nitrous oxide as carrier gas along with oxygen. Uptake of nitrous oxide is high initially, followed by gross reduction. This change in trend in differential uptake may lead to hypoxic mixtures being delivered. Ensuring oxygen, enough oxygen for metabolism. When wide variations in gas composition is possible.
రవి మ్యాచ్ అవ్వట్లేదు స్లైడ్ ఒకసారి చూసుకోను
సార్ అతను మారుస్తున్నాడు సార్.
అవును కరెక్ట్ సరిపోయిందో చూడు నువ్వు చెప్పేది ఆయన పంపించింది కరెక్ట్
అంటే ఇంకా నేను నాకు మార్చలేదు సార్.
ఏ స్లైడ్
ఇందాక పాత స్లైడ్ పెట్టమన్నా సార్. ఇదే పెట్టాను నేను. నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్ చెప్పేంత వరకు మార్చకండి ప్లీజ్. Ensuring enough oxygen for metabolism. When wide variation in gas composition is possible while reducing fresh gas flow, attention should be paid to provide enough oxygen to meet metabolic demands. Oxygen analyzer is better than pulse oximeter for monitoring tissue oxygenation. Lower limit of FiO2 should be at least set as 0.3. Next is delay in recovering from anesthesia. Long time constant leads to slow reduction in concentration of inhalation agents during recovery phase. Change over to high fresh gas flows to reduce time constant and switching off vaporizers early can accelerate the washout of anesthetic agents. Some machines use a charcoal filter to absorb the volatile agents to expedite recovery. Next slide, please. Disadvantages of low flow anesthesia are lower flow rate and long time constants leads to slower induction and emergence. Quick alteration of inspired concentrations is not possible while on low flows. Continuous vigilance and frequent flow adjustments are required to avoid hypoxic mixtures and under or over doses of anesthetic agents. Higher consumption of carbon dioxide absorber and risk of hypercarbia and carbon dioxide rebreathing with frequent exhaustion of absorbers. Accumulation of trace gases in the system such as carbon monoxide, acetone, methane, hydrogen, ethanol, compound A such as haloalkene occurs. US FDA recommendations limit sevoflurane exposure to 2 mAg hours at a flow rate of 1 to 2, less than 2 liters per minute. Fresh gas flow less than 1 liter per minute are not recommended. Next slide. Calculation of gas uptake. For oxygen uptake, body formula is 3.5 into body weight in ml per minute. For nitrous oxide uptake, Severinger's formula, which is 1000 into T half in milliliters per minute. In first minute, uptake of nitrous oxide is 1000 ml. In 25 minutes, uptake is 200 ml per minute. And after 50 minutes, uptake is 140 ml per minute. At 2 hours, uptake is nearly 90 ml per minute. The summary is nitrous oxide uptake decreases as time goes on. Anesthetic agent uptake formula is Lewis formula, where F is a factor that defines inhalation concentration that is sufficient for unresponsive skin incision at Mach 1.3. Lambda is blood gas coefficient, Q is cardiac output, T is time. Next slide, please. Next slide. Nitrous oxide in low flow anesthesia, pros and cons. Pros are it causes rapid wash in and rapid wash out. shortens the induction time. It causes reduction in opioid and anesthetic requirement. Cons are high initial uptake and minimal uptake in later phases make flow control adjustments more complicated. It has ozone depleting potential and greenhouse effect. It increases incidence of post-operative nausea, vomiting. Previous slide, please. Increases gaseous distension of bowels, cavities, and closed spaces. It causes immunosuppression and bone marrow suppression. Next. Conducting local anesthesia. Pre-medication, pre-oxygenation, and induction of sleep are performed according to the usual practice. Next, please. Initiation of low flow anesthesia. The main objective is to achieve an alveolar concentration of anesthetic agent that is adequate for producing surgical anesthesia. There are different approaches in achieving this objective. One is use of high flows during initial phase. Second is use of pre-filled circuits. Three is injection of volatile agents into the breathing circuit. During initiation, time constant is reduced, bringing the circuit concentration to the desired concentration rapidly. Fresh gas flow of 10 liters of desired gas concentration and 2 MAC agent concentration is used. By the end of 3 minutes, that is 3 times constant, circuit would be brought to the desired concentration. This facilitates better denitrogenation and rapid achievement of desired concentration by counterbalancing the large uptake encountered at the start of anesthesia. Next slide. Another method of conducting initiation of anesthesia, low flow anesthesia is use of pre-filled circuits. At first, a different circuit like Maggins for pre-oxygenation is used. Simultaneously, the circuit system is filled with a test lung and the entire circuit is filled with a gas mixture of desired concentration. After tracheal intubation, the patient is connected to the circuit system and rapid achievement of the desired concentration in the circuit occurs. Another technique is injection of volatile agent into the breathing circuit. Requirement of anesthetic agent in the first 10 minutes, that is, in the first 10 minutes is 400 to 500 ml of vapor, that is 40 to 50 ml per minute. At 20 degrees, 1 ml liquid halothane yields 226 ml vapor, 1 ml liquid isoflurane yields 196 ml vapor. About 2 ml of liquid agent is injected in small increments into the expiratory limb of the circuit. Intermittent injections are made in 0.2 to 0.5 ml aliquots minimally. Other method of injection of next slide. Other method of injection is injection of agent is continuous infusion may be used with added advantage of preventing peaks and troughs associated with the intermittent injections. In continuous infusion dose, priming dose of inhalation agent is desired concentration into functional residual capacity into circuit volume plus cardiac output plus blood gas into blood gas coefficient. Next slide, please. Maintenance of low flow anesthesia. During this phase, maintaining steady state concentration of the anesthetic state agent is needed. Oxygen uptake remains constant at 200 to 250 ml per minute. Uptake of anesthetic agent, including nitrous oxide, will be minimal. Role of oxygen analyzer to maintain oxygen concentration of at least 30% at all times is important. It is important to return the sampling gas drawn at the rate of 200 ml per minute back to the circuit to boost the economy of fresh gas flow utilization. Actual dial setting in the vaporizers overestimates the actual output since plenum vaporizers under delivers the agent at low flows. The achievement of desired end tidal agent concentration may be measured most accurately using an agent analyzer or by the hemodynamic stability of the patient. Next slide, please. Conducting low flow anesthesia and maintenance using oxygen and nitrous oxide is Gothenburg technique. For induction, first 6 minutes, oxygen is administered at 1.5 liters per minute, nitrous oxide at 3.5 liters per minute. For maintenance phase, oxygen at 4 ml per kg per minute. Nitrous oxide is adjusted to maintain a constant oxygen concentration in the circuit using oxygen analyzer. Next slide, please. Termination of low flow anesthesia. Because of long time constants recovery is delayed in low flow anesthesia. But switching over to high flows to accelerate the washout of anesthetic agents or use of activated charcoal to remove the potent vapors by absorption can result in rapid recovery. Nitrous oxide gets washed off while changing over to 100% oxygen. Next slide, please. Next, please. Next slide, please. Low flow anesthesia in pediatric population. Interest in low flow anesthesia for adults during past few decades, use of improved anesthetic and monitoring equipment also encourage low flow anesthesia in pediatric population. Main concerns are leaks due to use of uncuffed ET tube and all the additional monitoring equipment such as sample collection filters, sample connections, filters, heat and moisture exchangers, catheter mounts and angle connectors are the disadvantages. Breathing valves in the circuit add dead space and resistant to the breathing circuit. Airway sealing with uncuffed ET tube or low laryngeal mask airway is shown to be sufficient to perform low flow anesthesia in pediatric patients. Studies show that low flow anesthesia in pediatric patients can be safe. Frink et al. Demonstrated that the concentrations of compound A measured in children during sevoflurane anesthesia using approximately 2 liters per minute fresh gas flow are low. The younger the child, lower should be the concentrations of compound A produced if similar fresh gas flow, anesthesia concentration and carbon dioxide absorbers are used. Next slide. Automated low flow anesthesia or alpha. It is a in this technique proprietary software algorithms are used to determine agent and carrier gas administration to attain the targets with lowest surplus. Alpha missions include juice missions, ISIS and flow I. In juice mission, closed circuit anesthesia is performed. In ISIS missions, minimal flow anesthesia, that is up to 500 ml per minute fresh gas flow is used. First, the anesthesiologist selects a target alveolar concentration of inhaled anesthesia in anesthetics and target oxygen concentration by either FiO2 or end expired concentration are used. This automated gas control is a new addition to our armamentarium, low flow armamentarium, which helps to reduce anesthetic waste, cost of pollution, while minimizing the ergonomical liability of low flow anesthesia. Next page. Next slide, please.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Disconnect అయిందా?
లేదు సార్, డిస్కనెక్ట్ అవ్వలేదు.
స్పీకర్ గానే సార్.
ఎక్కడ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయిందా రవి?
I think he went into mute by mistake.
Hello.
రవి,
Hello.
Ravi sir, you're audible.
Sir, వినపడుతుందా సార్?
Continue.
Please continue, please
వినపడుతుంది,
continue.
కంటిన్యూ చేయండి.
Okay. One system currently available uses geolite filters or delta sharp in the scavenging system in anesthesia missions to absorb the anesthetic agent, later retrieving and purifying the anesthetic agents for reuse. Summary is widespread availability of gas analyzers for monitoring FiO2, EtCO2 and agent in modern anesthesia workstations, aiding smooth conduction of low flow anesthesia. The clinical application of low flow anesthesia is simplified by availability of reliable guidelines for safe performance of these techniques in routine clinical practice. Anesthesiologists should take low flow anesthesia as their professional obligation to the present and future generations on the planet Earth. Thank you, sir. Sir,
The topic is open for discussion.
One of the favorite topic of yours కదా శేఖర్, ఇంకేమన్నా ఉంటే పాయింట్స్ చెప్పు, then we'll have a questions.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Shekhar, and good morning, all. Can I ask one question?
morning, madam.
Like, how do you start? Like, how do you induce and how you do you switch off to low flow anesthesia?
Madam, there are different ways, madam, using high flows initially with high fresh gas flows and 2 MAC agent, or using first McGill's circuit for pre-oxygenation, then filling circuit system with high concentrated vapors. After intubation, connecting the pre-filled circuit system, madam.
No, that is all theory. Just tell me how do
Madam?
you do? That is all theory, no? Like, how do you feel? That all comes with the inspiratory and the expiratory vapors.
Yes, ma'am.
So, like, how do
Ravi,
you do?
practically, how will you do? Practically, how will you do? You tell.
Sir, we will go for high max with high fresh gas flow, sir. That's what only induction. Then after intubation, we will go for low flows after
Be
attaining a steady
specific,
state
Ravi.
concentration.
See, now, before.
Be specific. Be specific.
That is
How much
1.3
fresh gas
max,
flow?
which is sufficient for skin incision, surgical anesthesia.
No, not
How
like
much-
that. See,
How much?
if you take Bain circuit, how much of flows you will put? If you take soda lime, like closed circuit, like, you know, semi-closed now for induction, how much of flows you will set? And then how do you switch off to low flow anesthesia and how much?
At the end
You
of
are inducing with propofol, vecuronium, all these routine drugs. Then with flows, like high flows, how much you will put the setting, how much of flows you will put with or without nitrous, total flows. And then how do you switch over to low flow and what time?
madam,
After how many minutes you switch over to low flow? After
After-
intubation.
after
Yeah,
intubation, 3 minutes, madam.
Yeah, like
3
how
time
much you will?
constants. It is 95% of steady state concentration. Maximum is 6 time constants.
Directly after 3 minutes, you will go to 2 liters.
And
huh?
95%
Total
is 3 time constants, madam.
Mhm. So
100%
induction with
రవి, నువ్వేమి టైం కాన్స్టెంట్స్ మెజర్ చేయట్లేదు కదా, ప్రాక్టికల్ గా హౌ ఆర్ యూ డూయింగ్ అని అడుగుతున్నారు.
3 minutes, madam. After 3 minutes, we will intubate, madam.
that is because we have
3
to
minutes indicate 95% steady state concentration will occur.
It's not about intubation, Ravi. It's about converting a high flow to a low flow. When will you do it?
sometimes you monitor inspiratory and expiratory oxygen, nitrous oxide, and inhalational anesthetics. Like after how much of
Bashir,
time you will
sound आ रहा है,
switch?
बंद करो.
Jairam, mute it.
హలో
Mani madam.
రవి, ఇలా కాదు, నిన్ను ఎగ్జామ్ లో అడిగితే హౌ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఆన్సర్ అలా చెప్పాలి. నోబడీ ఈజ్ ఆస్కింగ్ అబౌట్ యువర్ ఇండక్షన్. 3 minutes చేస్తావా, 7 ఏంటి 7 డీప్ బ్రెత్స్ తర్వాత చేస్తావా, అది కాదు.
Madam.
హౌ విల్ యూ నో వెన్ టు టర్న్ టు లో ఫ్లోస్ అండ్ హౌ మచ్ ఈస్ ద లో ఫ్లో? What you
Okay,
have
madam.
to
I will
monitor on
induce the
low
patient, madam.
flows.
First, pre-medication is normal as other cases. Then after that, I will fill the circuit with a high MAC concentration, madam. Up to with high flows, fresh gas flows. After attaining steady state concentration after 3 minutes, after confirming the
So all the patients you do inhalational anesthetic induction
another 3
or
minutes.
IV induction.
No, I know IV induction, madam.
Then why are you see normal routine patient lap cholecystectomy? You are inducing the patient.
Madam.
How do you induce? And
Yes,
how do
madam.
you
After that, I
change
will
over
paralyze
to?
the patient, madam.
No, just tell pre-medication like that. You should tell no. First you
Right.
give pre-medication, then I'll keep 100% oxygen, then we will give fentanyl, thiopent, whatever, propofol. All these things you will give only oxygen, or you want to give nitrous oxide, or you want to give inhalational anesthetic. Everything you have to. For everybody, we don't do inhalational anesthetic induction.
Oh, sorry, madam.
Then you tell no. Then when you shift over, that is very important. Routinely, what you do?
Madam, I will pre-oxygenate the patient for 3 minutes before start induction, madam. Before pre-oxygenated, I will pre-medicate with anxiolytic drug and anti-Celag agent. Then I pre-oxygenate with high flow oxygen. Then I will give if it is this is a low flow anesthesia, so I will go for inhalation induction with high flow gas.
Hello? Hello?
Ravi?
Ravi?
It's not audible.
Hello?
I will intubate after giving proper intubating dose of paralyzing agent. After I will confirm the tube position with 5-point auscultation. I will fix at proper level. Then after that, I will bring down the inhalation agent to steady state levels, that is low levels, at least 1.3 max, madam, with fresh gas requirement of 1 to 2 liters per minute. The concept is low flow anesthesia, madam. I maintain OT up to 2 liters per minute, madam, for 2 to 3 cases with a combination of air and oxygen. I didn't use nitrous oxide. Then during the surgical procedure,
Sorry, actually for all the low flow anesthesia, you want to do inhalational induction only?
the present topic is low flow anesthesia. My observation in the case, I am saying that.
రవి ఇప్పుడు రేపు ఎగ్జామ్ లో ఇదే టాపిక్ సంబంధం ఉండదు కదా రవి. ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జామ్ లో నీకు లో ఫ్లో అనెస్థీషియా ఎగ్జామినర్ అడిగితే నువ్వేం చెప్తావు, నువ్వు ప్రాక్టీస్ గా ఎలా చెప్తావు, అది నువ్వు చెప్పకపోతే పక్కన శేఖర్ తో మాడిచ్చు. దెన్ అట్లీస్ట్ హీల్ గైడ్ యూ.
చెప్తున్నాను సార్ అది.
Ravi, how will you approach for this, for a case of conducting a low flow anesthesia? That's what madam is asking from the start. నువ్వు ఇండక్షన్ ఏం చేస్తావు, ఇండక్షన్ డ్రగ్స్ ఏమి ఇస్తావు, ఇంటిబేట్ ఎలా చేస్తావు, దట్స్ నాట్ దట్ షీ ఈస్ ఆస్కింగ్. వెన్ విల్ యూ కన్వర్ట్ ఏ హై ఫ్లో అండ్ హౌ లాంగ్ యూ విల్ పుట్ ఇన్ హై ద పేషెంట్ ఆన్ హై ఫ్లో బిఫోర్ కన్వర్టింగ్ హిమ్ టు ఏ లో ఫ్లో anesthesia? దట్స్ వాట్ షీ ఈస్ ఆస్కింగ్. దట్స్ ఎ ప్రిసైజ్ క్వశ్చన్.
పిఎస్సి
నుంచి కాదు సార్.
Ravi,
ఫస్ట్
how many cases you did low flow anesthesia?
మేడం
ఎన్ని కేసులు చేసావు లో ఫ్లో anesthesia?
మేడం వాయిస్ సరిగా వినపలేదు.
ఎన్ని కేసులు చేసావమ్మా లో ఫ్లో anesthesiaలో?
మేడం 2 కేసులు చేశాను మేడం. అంటే
ఆ 2 కేసులు ఎట్లా చేసావో చెప్పు అంతే. ప్రీ మెడికేషన్ అయిపోయింది, ఇంటిబేట్ చేసావు, నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ చెప్పు.
Then I brought down the inhalation agent to 1.2 to 2 max, madam, with the intermittent analgesic doses and paralytic agents. I observed hemodynamic parameters to avoid fluctuations. Then I have no any gas analyzers in the theater, but based on the hemodynamic stability of the patient, I monitor throughout the procedure. Based on the respiratory rate and end tidal volumes, supplemented the oxygen with incremental oxygen concentrations whenever necessary.
Manjula, you help with the answer fully.
How do you know this patient needs oxygen? You are changed frequently.
Yes, madam. 2-3 times I changed.
What parameter you see and change the oxygen?
Madam, voice cut ayi.
What observation you did after that you changed oxygen increased?
when will you increase the oxygen requirement? When will you increase the oxygen flow? And how much will you increase? If there
Sir,
is
based on
any
the
hope of-
metabolic demands of the patient, when
How
there
will
is
you calculate the
any
metabolic
increase in
demands in
inhaled
our
carbon
machines?
dioxide or increase in tachycardia, ETCO2, I changed the oxygen concentration to 100 ml extra, sir.
If there is an increase in ETCO2, you will do increase the oxygen or you will do anything else? In what cases you did two low flows? On low flows, which cases you did? So let me answer this question, which was asked to Ravi. As far as I'm concerned, what I do is, I will induce the patient with IV induction agents, and I will keep him on, initially after intubation, I will keep the patient on high flows for 3 to 5 minutes with 2 mac, and then we will switch over to the low flow. Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
Shekhar, continue. Shekhar, continue.
Yeah. Then we will switch over to the low flows. If it is 2 liters per minute of 1 liter of 1 liter per minute of oxygen and 1 liter per minute of air, we don't use nitrous oxide regularly. And then keep the MAC at 1 MAC. We will decrease the concentration of the sevoflurane or isoflurane to 1 MAC, and we will maintain the patient continuously throughout this procedure, and we will see whether there are any physiological changes if the patient is getting adequate oxygen or not, because we don't have any, our oxygen analyzers are not working well. Most of the machines, the oxygen analyzers will work for 6 months, and they will go off at the most for 1 year. So we need to frequently change the oxygen analyzers first of all. So one more thing is, at the end of the surgery, most of the cases with 2 liters of fresh gas flow, we will not encounter any problems of hypoxia or hypercarbia. So one more thing is, at the end of the surgery, we again, as Ravi said in the class, we will increase the fresh gas flow so that the washout should be more, because we don't have any scavenging systems or gyrate filters here. We are increasing the fresh gas flow to 8 liters per minute, and we are extubating the patients on 100% oxygen. So that's how we are doing it now. So because if there is any scavenging system or gyrate filters are there, then we can reduce that. We can conserve the inhalation agents also better. But as of now, we are doing with 2 liters of gas flow, because we are having a leaky machines. As I told you, low flow anesthesia is a very, attractive is at the same time it needs a lot of logistical issues also, because your circuits, your machines, your vaporizers, everything should be leak free. Then only you can administer low flow anesthesia.
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, Shekhar, correct. You have to have leak-proof machine. You have to have gas analyzer to do low-flow anesthesia techniques. So unless we have these, as you said, we are putting little high flow only. Low flow, proper low flow without any leaks machine. Low flow ante enta low vellagalamu ante whatever our body requires for metabolism, whatever oxygen consumption, like is it not like a 250 ml? We need oxygen. Inspired, expired ki difference adi 250 ml we conserve. So anta low actually, but 500 ml minimum oxygen, minimum we have to put flows. That's the any proper low flow without any leaks. Proper gas analyzer unte, that's the answer. Minimum flow we should be able to maintain with 500 ml, but none of our machines we can do that. That's why we are using 2 liters.
2 liters.
But you should be able to go down to 500 ml. We used to use 500 ml low flow anesthesia in circuits. As you said, initially we have to achieve MAC and inspired, expired gases chodali. Inspired, expired inhalational agent concentrations you have to monitor. And you have to maintain MAC inspired, expired equal outai. That means you are in equilibrium. At that point, you are okay to go down on your flows. So that's why it's nothing related to your pre-oxygenation or pre-anesthetic induction, intubation, adanta cheppalsina avasaram ledu Ravi. When do you ante you have to say it. I mean, you say obviously in the answer you may say how you go, but you have to say about these your MAC levels, inspired, expired monitor చేసుకోవాలి. You have to put down to go down to, you should be able to go down while monitoring MAC. So and as everybody knows, during like at the end of surgery, go to high flows again to wash out. So that's the answer. So unless you have gas analyzer, you can't go to really proper low flows. We are going down, but not exactly to the defined low flow anesthesia levels.
Exactly, madam. I totally agree with you. But whatever we can do is we can keep the patient on 2 liters of oxygen, 2 liters of fresh gas flow, which includes oxygen and air. And we can continue. We can monitor the ETCO2, whatever the equipment available with us. We are monitoring with that, and we are conducting in a low resource setting only. So the main thing is the vaporizer should be leak free. Otherwise, your flows will go up once the vaporizer is kept in when it's open. When you start giving the inhalation anesthetic, if you are keeping the patient on low flows, if the vaporizer is not leak proof, then your flows will increase. That's what we observed, because there is a lot of inhalation anesthetic wastage. At the same time, your flows will also be higher, and there is a delayed recovery in patients who are maintained on high flows compared to low flows. That's what we observed.
Please explain about time constant and what is fresh gas decoupling.
Question is for students only.
Time constant is the time required to increase the concentration of inhalation anesthetic by twice the previous concentration, madam.
Any formula? What is Conway's formula?
Fresh gas decoupling.
Time constant means is system volume by fresh gas flow.
Right. Fresh gas volume.
Exactly, you have to tell that time taken for changes at the vaporizer dial settings lead to corresponding changes of the gas composition in the breathing system and at the patient airway. So Vs by Vd minus Vu. That is the formula, Conway's formula. What is fresh gas decoupling?
Ravi?
Sir.
Madam asked something.
Sir, voice cut ayi.
No.
Fresh gas
Madam is
decoupling.
asking. Yeah.
Decoupling అనేది రాదు sir.
If you know, tell the definition. Otherwise, say I don't know.
Idea రావడం లేదు sir.
Yeah, say that.
మధ్యలో
Why
వాయిస్
wasting everybody's time?
సార్ మధ్యలో వాయిస్ కట్ అవుతుంది సార్, అది స్ట్రీమింగ్ అవుతుంది.
It's okay. So fresh gas decoupling means that present in the dragger machine. So it is a piston type of ventilator. So fresh gas decoupling valve is present. So fresh gas is directed towards the reservoir during expanding the inspiration expiration. So it is useful in low flow anesthesia. సోడా లైమ్ గురించి చదివారండి?
Ravi, what is Fink effect?
This is a standard question. You should answer it. All the students should know Fink effect.
Sir, changes in the partial pressure of oxygen related to inhalation agent, sir.
What is the other name for Fink effect? What do you call Fink effect? There is a name for Fink effect. That itself gives the definition.
Or second gas effect, sir.
Good morning, madam. Diffusion hypoxia. Fink effect.
Good. That is why Fink effect is used. Why we give 100% oxygen before extubation for 3 minutes, because of Fink effect. Dilution hypoxia. Diffusion hypoxia. Is there any inhalation anesthetic of choice for low flow anesthesia? Which is better?
Desflurane, sir.
నేను అదే అనుకుంటున్నాను. మేడం చెప్పాలి. రాణి మేడం, అనురాధ మేడం.
As far as I am concerned, no inhalation anesthetic is prioritized, sir, because desflurane has its own negative effects and sevoflurane has its own negative effects. Isoflurane is both having isoflurane we are using regularly. These days, people are asking for isoflurane anesthesia than sevoflurane or desflurane because it's having negative maximum carbon footprint compared to CO and ISO. So CO
maximum
is still carbon footprint. So they are discouraging desflurane these days because of the increased carbon footprint.
సార్
రామ్ ప్రసాద్ మీరు చెప్పింది డెస్ప్లేన్ గురించి కదా?
అది కాదంటున్నారు కదా ఇప్పుడు శేఖర్. నాకు కరెక్ట్ తెలియదు సార్. శేఖర్
బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫుట్ ఏంటి కార్బన్ ఏంటి శేఖర్?
Carbon footprint, sir, because it is having deleterious effects on environment. Desflurane is discouraged these days compared to sevoflurane and isoflurane.
Oh, sevoflurane is better or isoflurane is better?
Sevoflurane is still better, but it's costly compared to isoflurane.
What is rule of 7 with desflurane?
Students, rule of 7 with desflurane.
శేఖర్ మీరు చెప్పండి, ఇది ఎవరు చెప్పండి.
నాకు ఒకటి రెండే తెలుస్తా, నేను చదవలేదు చాలా రోజుల నుంచి. అది ఇట్ ఈస్ 7% ఫర్ ద ఇండక్షన్, దట్స్ ద మ్యాక్, అండ్ 10 మ్యాక్, అండ్ I think we need to keep for 7 minutes.
Yes.
That's the only thing I know. If there is anything else, please add.
ఫార్ములాలో 7 ఏదో ఉంటుంది సార్. 7 ఐసోమర్స్ ఏదో ఉంటుంది.
Yes, sir.
My last question, Ravi. So main disadvantage of low flow gas anesthesia compared to high flow gas.
And also main advantage.
Voice
Main disadvantage, madam, main disadvantage is you cannot perform the procedure on hemodynamic unstable patients.
Can you
Advantage is
elaborate,
economy and avoiding environmental pollution.
No. Can you elaborate the first disadvantage? What are you saying? Can you elaborate?
Sir, we cannot operate low flow anesthesia in patients with hemodynamic unstably at the cost of because high concentration of inhalation agent will cause further deterioration of the patient.
Oh, you got it all wrong. Okay, sorry. Okay, we'll talk later. Then what?
Advantage, disadvantage.
మెయిన్
You can avoid
డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏం చెప్పాలంటే 3 times కాన్స్టెంట్ ఏదో చెప్పావు చూడు, గుర్తుందా?
మేడం వాయిస్ కట్ అయింది మేడం.
నేను చెప్పినప్పుడే నీకు కట్ అవుతుంది.
గుర్తుందని ఒకటి పడింది.
మరి అదే
డిఫికల్ట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతున్నారు మేడం మీరు.
సో క్లాస్ లో యూ టోల్డ్ అబౌట్ 3 times కాన్స్టెంట్ ఏదో చెప్పావు కదా.
అవును మేడం, అవును మేడం.
అది చెప్పాలి. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ హై ఫ్లో గ్యాస్ ఫ్లో ఉంటే టైం కాన్స్టెంట్ 1.3 కదా, సో మినిట్స్ వస్తుంది. సో 3 times అంటే 3 into 1.3 అంటే 4 minutes. ఇట్ టేక్స్ 4 minutes ఫర్ చేంజ్ ఇన్ కాంపోజిషన్ అట్ ది పేషెంట్ ఎండ్. అదే సేమ్ థింగ్ ఇన్ లో ఫ్లో గ్యాస్ అయితే ఈ టైం కాన్స్టెంట్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ 8 minutes అంటే 8 into 3, సో 24 minutes వస్తుంది. సో ఇట్ టేక్స్ 24 minutes ఫర్ చేంజ్ ఇన్ కాంపోజిషన్ అట్ ది పేషెంట్ ఎండ్. సో దట్స్ వై ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఫర్ లో ఫ్లో అనెస్థీషియా. అది మెయిన్ ఆన్సర్. అక్కడ చెప్పిన తర్వాత సెకండ్ది హీమోడైనమికల్ అన్స్టేబుల్ అది ఇది చెప్తే సరిపోతుంది.
హలో రవి సార్.
సార్ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్. సార్ ఏం లేదు, ఇస్ దర్ ఎనీ కోరిలేషన్ బిట్వీన్ లో ఫ్లో అనెస్థీషియా అండ్ ఇంక్రీజ్డ్ యూజ్ ఆఫ్ మజిల్ రిలాక్సెంట్? డోసేజ్ ఎక్కువ అవడం అలాంటి కోరిలేషన్ ఏమైనా ఉందా? అంటే నా పర్సనల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లో ల్యాబ్ కాల్ కేసు కేర్ లోనే చేశాను.
డోసేజ్ there is no change in dosage sir, but
300 ఫ్లో పెట్టాను సార్. కానీ patient was frequently coming out. We almost used 16 mg vecuronium for that case, which went for around 2.5 hours, I guess, case. We added everything, అన్ని మెజర్స్ తీసుకున్నాము, ఇన్హలేషన్ ఇంక్రీస్ చేసాము, అన్ని చేసాము, బట్ స్టిల్ patient was frequently coming out of anesthesia.
What were the PSO2? ETCO2 levels? సార్ ల్యాబ్ కేస్ అంటున్నారు, ETCO2 ఎంత ఉండింది సార్ అప్పుడు?
Yes sir, ETCO2
సార్
ETCO2 నార్మలే సార్, 38 అలా మెయింటైన్ అయింది.
మేబీ వెక్యూరోనియం is not working.
2 vials వాడి పని చేయకుండా ఇంకోటి పని చేయాలి కదా,
అంటే బ్యాచ్ మార్చాలి.
One more thing, sir.
Good
morning.
Morning.
It might be due to inter-individual difference also. Maybe he's a strong inducer of the engines. I didn't come across any such kind of events in even in lab also using low flows. Generally, the muscle relaxant doses are maintained very well. I mean, we are giving the normal doses only, even for lab cases on low flow. So there is no requirement for muscle relaxants. Maybe he is an enzyme inducer. His metabolism is so fast that he is requiring more anesthetic agent, or the muscle relaxant must be less potent. These are the only two issues, because it doesn't, low flow doesn't imply the increasing requirement of muscle relaxants.
Okay. And how frequently we need to do ABG for low flow, something like that, like regularly?
No need. If you have an oxygen analyzer, no need. If you don't have an oxygen analyzer, either way, we are the basic requirement, as you know, as Shalpatra sir told, the basic requirement is only 250 ml. We are giving almost 750 ml. If you keep 1 liter of FGF also, you are giving 500 ml of oxygen and 21% of 500 ml. That is almost coming to 125 ml or 120 ml. 620 ml of oxygen you are giving, even if you are keeping on 1 liter of FGF. So there is no chance of getting hypoxia in a normal patient. In a sepsis patient, that's a different issue because of low perfusion.
Okay. So no issues with any lactate also, correct?
No issues.
Okay. Sir. Ravi sir. Hello?
Sir.
Sir. Party epudu sir, class bale undi.
నా ఒక్క క్వశ్చన్ తో అందరినీ సైలెంట్ చేస్తారు సార్.
అయిపోయిందా క్లాస్?
అలా కాదు, పార్టీ అడిగినోడు చూడు, పార్టీ ఇవ్వాల్సినారు, ఇద్దరు సైలెంట్ అయిపోయారు.
నేను అడిగాను స్వామి, నేను ఆన్సర్ కోసం
కాదు, నీకు అదే క్వశ్చన్ చేస్తే నువ్వు సైలెంట్ అయిపోతావు కదా, అది చెప్తున్నాను నేను.
అదే వంశీని అడగండి ఎప్పుడంటే అప్పుడు రెడీ అంటాడు కదా.
వంశీ బిజీ ఇన్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్ విఎంసి.
he's joined the class.
అంటే జాయిన్ అవడానికి నాన్ చేసి పడేస్తారు పక్కన.
కాదు హలో,
క్లాస్ అయిపోయిందా?
ఇప్పుడు ఈ మామూలుగా ఇండక్షన్ టెక్నిక్స్ ఇందాక ఆయన చెప్పింది నాకు అర్థం కదా చెక్. మామూలు రెగ్యులర్ గా చేసి మీరు వెంటిలేటర్ మోడ్కి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు లో ఫ్లోస్ లో వెళ్తా అంటున్నారా? నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు.
లేదు. Initially, after intubation, we connect to the circuit. We connect to the circuit and keep the patient on high flows for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. As madam said, that's the reason why we keep for 5 minutes, because the peak time constant comes around 4.5 minutes up to 4 minutes.
Okay.
So that's why we keep the patient on 5 to 6 minutes and on high flows with 2 MAC. Okay. With 2 MAC ante almost in isoflurane it is 1.2 and sevoflurane it is around 4. So akkada pettin tarvata then we come down on flows to your required level. I mean, if you want to keep the patient on 1 liter FGF or 2 liter FGF, that's up to you, depending upon your machine quality and your vaporizer quality. So appudu flows tagginchukoni and you come to 1 MAC.
Okay.
Same implies at the end of the surgery also. Before closing, I mean, at the end of the surgery, you again you switch off the inflation anesthetic and increase the flows.
The increase the flows ki evana ratio undada? See, if I am doing with 500 ml, 750 ml, 1 liter, coming back to my regular end of the surgery ki end liter.
Yeah. నువ్వు ఎంత తక్కువ ఫ్లో పెడితే అంత లేట్ గా నువ్వు హై ఫ్లోస్ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు at the end of the surgery.
హై ఫ్లోస్ అంటే ఎంత వరకు వెళ్ళమంటా?
8 liters.
ఓకే, డైరెక్ట్ బ్యాక్ దానికే వెళ్ళిపోమంటున్నావు.
8 liters వరకు వెళ్ళొచ్చు. ఓకే 8 liters to 10 liters ఉంటాడు వాడు. యాక్చువల్ గా ఐ మీన్ అట్ ది ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది సర్జరీ హౌ మచ్ నువ్వు ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ మెయింటైనింగ్ అట్ 500.5 liters per minute తో మెయింటైన్ చేసావు అనుకో ఓవర్ హోల్ కేస్ అంటే 250 ml of oxygen, 250 ml of air. Okay, if you are maintaining like that, then you can control, you can increase the to high flows delay after no skin closure అయిన తర్వాత కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు. Skin closure అయిన తర్వాత if you increase the, it's just dilution as అంతే కదా. ఇప్పుడు you are giving 0.5 ml లో you are giving 2% CO fluid ఇస్తున్నావు అనుకో.
Okay.
And you are increasing, you are cutting off the CO and increasing to 8 liters and 0.5 ml is 16 times you increase the FGF.
Oh no.
So there is 16 times dilution of the agent.
Oh no.
So it will automatically it will wash out fast.
Okay.
Other of 2 liters పెట్టావు అనుకో 8 liters పెడితే it's only 4 times. So 4 times FGF increase చేసినట్టే and 4 times dilution అవుతుంది. So that's what I'm saying, that will take much time, much more time than compared to this low flow. ఇంకా low flow తో పెట్టుకుంటే అంటే ఎంత తక్కువ low flow పెట్టుకుంటే అంత delayed గా you can increase to high flows అన్నమాట.
Okay.
Got the point? Yeah. Okay, I think any more questions?
లాస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ క్లాస్ ఎవరు చెప్తున్నారు?
నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ ఎవరిది? కేర్దా?
కేర్ వాళ్ళది బాబు.
మేడం ఎవరు చెప్తున్నారు మేడం? నాకు కూడా తెలియదు. నాదేది చెప్పండి, నేను ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తాను. చూసి శ్రీకాంత్, ఐ విల్ అప్డేట్ యూ.
యా డన్. ఓకే.
యా
సార్ నాకు వచ్చిన రవి సార్ పార్టీ ఎప్పుడండి? ఏంటండి మీరు?
రవి సార్ థీసిస్ అయిపోద్ది ఈ వీక్ థీసిస్ అయిపోతే పార్టీ.
జపక్ అప్పుడే.
సరే, ఓకే.
ఏంటి థీసిస్ టాపిక్?
కంపారిజన్ బిట్వీన్ isobaric ropivacaine and hyperbaric ropivacaine with fentanyl in spinal anesthesia for lower abdominal and lower limb surgeries.
0.75%.
0.7%. అది చెప్పలేదు కదా నేను, సారీ.
ప్రోటోకాల్ మిస్ అవుతున్నా శేఖర్ నువ్వు. ఓకే డన్. ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్.
ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్ సార్. నాది ఇంచుమించు అదే, కొంచెం నాది రొపివాకేన్ కంపారిజన్ నాది.
నీది గైనిక్ సర్జరీస్ కదరా? గైనిక్ అంటే ప్రీతి ఎక్కువ కదా నీకు.
ఓకే.
గైనిక్ అంటే కొంచెం లైఫ్ ఎక్కువ.
హలో, ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్ రవి కాదనుకుంటా కదా. ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్ డాక్టర్ శేఖర్, డాక్టర్ చందన అండ్ డాక్టర్ చైతన్య.
మీరు కూడా మేడం, మీరు చెప్పుకోపోతే అలాగే.
అంటే మిమ్మల్ని దాటి అక్కడికి వస్తుంది కదా
మేడం. అంటే ఇప్పుడు హ్యాపీతో అయిపోతే మీ అందరిని తిడతారా మేడం?
లేదు, మాతో నైట్ అవుట్ చేస్తారు.
అంతే కదా. ఇప్పుడు దాంట్లో ఏ ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చింది? మీరే చేశారు మేడం, అంతా మీరే చేశారు అంటారు.
మేడం నేను గ్యారెంటీ ఇస్తున్నాను, ఏ ప్రాబ్లం రాదు. 99% ప్రాబ్లం రాదు. ఆ 1% ఛాన్స్ తీసుకుంటాను.
ఏం కాలే రవి సార్, ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్. చక్కగా అన్ని అయిపోయి మాకు పార్టీ ఇచ్చాడు తొందరగా.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you
the session. Thank you.
Thank you to Ravi. Thank you to Shekhar. Thank you to all.